Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Samantha Huls, and today I'm going to be talking about getting started on Upwork as a new freelancer. Let's get started with a quote from our CEO. Upwork provides access to freelancers and agencies with over 8,000 skills and 80 categories of work. We're really proud of expanding our categories of work, and we're excited to show you how you can bring your skills onto the platform. So how do freelancers on our platform get started? Let's look at the process of the freelancing journey. We're going to discuss how to create your profile, search for jobs, submit your first proposal, participate in an interview with a client, and then manage your contract and payments. We're also going to discuss resources on the platform, which will help you as you continue on your own freelancing journey. Your profile, how to articulate your personal brand. The first thing you'll want to do is create your profile. Let's look at a profile and see what some of the features are. As you can see in this example, there are quite a few areas to fill out. Professional headshot, detailed title, compelling and well-written overview, relevant work history, targeted skill sets, professional portfolio samples, certifications, and an introduction video. You'll want to use all these areas to fill out your profile with the information most important to defining who you are as a freelancer. Are you a writer? Are you a graphic designer? Maybe you write code. Regardless, this is where you'll explain your specialty. If you're one of those people who has multiple specializations, you can also create multiple profiles that feature each specialization and your experience with each. You really want to get specific here on your skill set so that clients can see what makes you unique whenever they're viewing your profile. Once you begin to build your profile and start working on the platform, you'll also have a chance to earn badges. Let's get deeper into those. As you grow your business on Upwork, there are many ways to be recognized for your success. Our talent tier system will award you with badges on your profile that are visible to clients as you build your reputation on Upwork. Each of these badges comes with perks. Be sure to check out the Upwork Help Center to learn more about each of the requirements at each of those stages. The first program I want to highlight is our Rising Talent program. Once you get started and have a complete profile and begin to submit proposals, if you qualify, you'll receive a Rising Talent badge, which says this person shows high potential on their early projects/profile. You'll have this badge until it's replaced by a job success score. The full list of requirements for this badge are available on the Help Center for you to review. The job success score is the score you get based on client feedback and indications of whether clients are satisfied with your work. It's a combination of public and private feedback, your long-term client relationships, rehires, and contracts that don't result in work delivered. Your job success score changes with each project, so if you get less than perfect feedback on a project and your score drops a bit, don't get too discouraged. You can bump it back up by doing a great job on your next project. Our next program is our top-rated program. If you have a job success score and it's above 90% and you've done strong work over multiple clients over a certain amount of money every year, you can qualify for this program. It's a badge that gives you increased visibility and shows that you are one of the most successful freelancers in your category on the platform. There is also the Top Rated Plus program, which means you meet the top rated requirements and you've had success with at least one large project on Upwork. Large projects are defined by the contract value, and the value varies by job category. Many enterprise clients on Upwork are specifically looking for talent that can complete large, complex projects. This badge is visible to them, and it really helps you stand out. Additionally, there may be an opportunity for you to earn the Expert Vetted Talent badge. Currently, this is an invite-only program for freelancers with the most in-demand skills. This badge is awarded after completing a rigorous pre-screening process, such as a technical skills assessment and a live interview with an Upwork talent manager. You also have access to My Stats. It's a great tool to look at how you're doing. It helps you to know if you might need to change your style or update your proposal format. You may have to adjust your skills. There's a lot of things that may have to happen as you get started on the platform. This is a great tool to learn and grow and adapt as you get started. So here's a visual of what the freelancer journey may look like. You can earn badges, build your job success score, and eventually become top rated or expert vetted on the platform. Types of clients on Upwork. So you may be wondering, what types of clients are on Upwork? Clients can utilize 3 different programs on the platform: Basic, Plus, and Business. Clients decide on which program they will utilize based on their project scope and how often they'll need to hire freelancers. There are also enterprise clients, who are typically companies that may be looking for larger scale projects, looking to hire freelancers to help with bigger projects. You'll see that enterprise clients are designated with the enterprise badge, which makes them easily distinguishable. So now that you've created your profile and you know what kind of clients are on the platform, it's time to start looking for your first job. Your first option for finding a job on Upwork is using the job search feature. There are some buttons that you can click on to narrow your search, such as payment verification. You can play around with all of these based on your experience level, budget, etc. When you're reviewing job posts, look at the following information. What do you want to know? What technical areas of specialty do I need? What's the deadline? What are they looking for? Is their payment method verified? As we look closer at the job posting like this one, we can see other important information about the job and the client. It lists the preferred qualifications, which helps us judge whether or not we would be a good fit for the specific job. It also has information about activity on this job, including how many other proposals were received and whether or not they are actively interviewing other candidates for it. All of this information is helpful in determining whether or not we want to apply to this job posting. Another way you can get a job is by being invited by the client directly. The client can also find you via their freelancer search function and invite you to apply to the job. If you receive a request, you don't have to apply, but it might be a good idea if you think you might be a good mutual fit. So now let's say you want to apply for a job and you're ready to submit your proposal. As you look at some of the things we looked at on the posting, consider what you want to mention in your proposal. What parts do you need to negotiate or ask questions about? How would you do this job? It's important to write your own proposal template that reflects your own personalized approach, as this will help you stand out among other freelancers applying for the same work and show clients that you're original and unique. How long do you think the work will take you? What parts of the work are essential for success? All of these things are things you might want to consider prior to submitting your proposal. There's not one magic formula for a proposal, but if the client is asking questions in their job post, certainly answer them. Giving them examples of your work in ways you've done work in the past with other clients is also a best practice. Here's an example of a proposal. In this proposal, the freelancer discusses their work experience, what they bring to the table, their communication, and they open the door for a potential interview. This is an example of a good proposal. Connects are tokens you use to submit proposals. With the Connect system, our goal is to help professionals win more projects. To get started with bidding on jobs, you'll need to use Connects. They're 15 cents a piece and you buy them in bundles, and jobs range from 1 to 6 Connects. New freelancers are given an allotment of Connects. If you receive the Rising Talent and/or Top Rated badge, you also receive an additional Connect allotment. If you're invited to apply for a project, you will not have to use any Connects to submit a proposal. Invites from clients are free. If you're rehired by the same client, you also won't have to use any Connects. Before a contract is in place, communication can't take place off the platform. But let's say you've submitted your proposal and you get a response. It's time to interview, where you'll speak with the client about the job and ask any more questions you may have about the job. For communication, you have quite a few options. If you have a skill that is maybe harder to demonstrate, or you want to show that you can do the specific thing the client is asking for, you can suggest a test project. The client may not know about this. It's just simply that the client sets up a small project, They set up a new contract, maybe one milestone, and it lets them pay you for the work that you complete. Just for a simple example, let's say they wanted a picture of a cat in a certain art style. You could draw something in that art style to show that you could do it so that they could move forward with you. That's just one way that you can show them the specific work that you can do. Also know that Upwork has an 84% fill rate versus the 40% industry fill rate. Before a contract is in place, communication can't take place off the platform. Using the platform, you can communicate with the client in just about every way. It's safe and easy to start communicating with your client and keeping an on-platform record of your conversations. We have the Upwork Messages app, which allows you to send messages, attach files, take screenshots, and create messaging rooms all within the app. You'll also receive notifications of sent and messages from clients in your email, and you can reply via email as well. The Upwork Desktop App is designed for collaboration and payment protection. You're able to track your hourly time using the Upwork Desktop App. You're also able to use it to send messages and keep track of communication. So prior to setting up the contract, you'll want to discuss and agree on the following terms: the type, the rate, the times and deadlines, how to submit work to the client, how you'll communicate, how often you'll communicate, who your main point of contact will be, if you need access to any of the client's company resources, and then anything else you may want to know about the client prior to getting the job started. So once you agree to work with a client on a contract, you'll want to be sure to establish open communication. We can't stress how important it is to have open communication with your client throughout this process. So now I'm going to talk about contracts and how to get paid. Freelancers on our platform earn $1.7 billion annually. When it comes to pricing, we bill you based on the client per client relationship. So for the first 500 you earn, with each new client, the fee will be 20%. From 500 to 10,000, the fee is 10%. And with earnings per client above 10,000, it's a 5% fee. This is really leaning on the fact that as the relationship between you, the freelancer, and your new client is established, more opportunities may arise through established communication, understanding how your skills support the client, and identifying additional projects that you can contribute to. We want to support and encourage long-term relationships between the freelancer and the client. Now let me talk about the two types of contracts briefly: hourly versus fixed price contracts. At a high level, an hourly contract is about time, and it typically indicates that you'll be doing ongoing work that isn't really just one deliverable. Like, it's not just one drawing of a cat. How many hours will you work per week for this client? And generally speaking, if you work those hours, then you'll get paid for those hours, versus a fixed price contract that is focused on the quality of a project deliverable for a predetermined amount of money. With milestones, it's like a stoplight. You drive to the first milestone or stoplight, you deliver that work, and then you get paid. When the client is happy with the quality and releases the money, then you go to the next stoplight or milestone. This contract type means that the work is more about the quality and completing exactly what the client asked for. That being said, being very clear about what the client wants is a great way to make sure you're not in an endless loop of "that's not what I wanted." Bidding on fixed price jobs will look like this, which will show you what your take-home pay will be after fees, so be sure to bid enough to cover your own expenses. Bidding on hourly jobs will look like this, which will also show you what your take-home pay will be per hour after fees. Let me dive a little deeper into each one. On an hourly contract, let's say for an easy example, we agree to answer the phone for $10 or 10 hours a week at $10 an hour. Very simple example. So let's say that we work for 7 days for a total of 10 hours. And then on that Monday, the client is charged the $100 and the money goes into escrow. It's held there for 5 days so that the client can review your work diary and speak with you if they have any concerns. You should also be reviewing the work diary before the end of the week to remove any charged time when you were not working. Reminder, it's easy to turn off your Upwork Desktop app if you need to do any personal tasks and should not be charging the client for this time. Also, if you have a double monitor setup, both monitors can be tracked, so you'll want to select your settings for that in the app. After that's locked in, the money will be released the next Wednesday, and as long as the contract is still active and there are tasks to do, the work continues the next Monday. Generally speaking, if you're using the tracker, there is a level of protection for you and the client. Review the details of payment protection and the terms of service to keep yourself safe and understand what you're committing to before accepting an offer from a client. The time tracker on the Upwork Desktop app takes periodic screenshots of your desktop so that when you say you're working and the client needs to review, they can review it to make sure that you were working when you said you were working. That way, they know they are getting billed the right amount. There is an option to manually track time, but a best practice is to use that sparingly and in only trusted client relationships in the event of a technical glitch, as funds are not protected under payment protection with the manual option. In comparison, a fixed price milestone contract has stoplights along the way. Then at each stop, there is a set of feedback. The client funds the milestone and the money is charged to them for the first milestone. The contract's total budget may be $100, but since the contract activity happens in stages, you will only get a portion of that money after you complete each milestone. The work is being done on one portion at a time, and the rest of the funds remain in escrow. So let's say it's $100. The money is held in escrow while this happens. Then you submit the first piece of work. Each milestone is $25. They review it and they either say great and they greenlight it, or they ask you to make a few changes. You go back and you fix it, and once they agree, they then release the money and it will be released to you. Then they can fund the next $25 milestone. It takes the money and pulls it back into escrow again. If you submit work, this is how you are protected as a freelancer. If the client disappears for some reason, after 14 days, you would get that money released. That's why it's really important to always have a client fund the next milestone before starting the work for that one, because then you can start working knowing that your money is protected. This is extremely important. As it relates to payment, your payment methods are going to localize based on where you are in the world. We're available all over the world, so it's hard to speak in specifics about what's available to you. But when you do have money available, you can take it out. You'll decide how to do that once it's available for you to withdraw. We are working tirelessly to always improve the ability for you to get your money fast when it's available. Payment methods may include direct to US bank, direct to local bank, wire transfer, PayPal, Payoneer. Some fixed price project tips is you'll want to make sure that you negotiate your milestones, rates, deliverable, and timelines for the project. You'll want to complete and deliver the work via the Upwork app, whether it's in your browser or on your desktop. Be sure to provide edits or updates as requested by the client prior to receiving your payment. And then ask the client to fund a new milestone to continue project work or ask them to end the contract. As far as the feedback system goes, it's double-blind and it includes both private and public feedback. You don't see their feedback and they don't see your feedback prior to both parties submitting their reviews. If you provide it or if they provide it, then after 14 days it becomes available. But it's something that's really important and you may have to be assertive and ask for it. Now that we've gone through the entire process of creating your profile, applying for jobs, interviewing, and completing contracts, let's talk about some of the resources you can utilize as you begin to work your way through all of these steps of using the platform. In our terms of service, the one non-negotiable thing is that you need to stay on our platform. If you find a client on our platform, then you need to get paid on our platform and you need to stay there for a minimum of 24 months. Or you could have the client pay an opt-out fee. Also know that before a contract is in place, communication cannot take place off-platform. Know that if something seems too strange or good to be true, it probably is. You should report it or at least reach out to us and ask. We have teams working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, making sure that our platform is as safe as it can be. There are always bad guys on every platform, and we're working to make it to where you have a safe platform to deliver work quickly. So please report anything suspicious to us. Community-wise, we have an awesome community that you can go to at community.upwork.com, where you can get other freelancers' opinions and advice. Hearing from other freelancers who have succeeded is a great way to build your network or to learn where to get a diverse set of opinions, even if you might not agree with them. It's a very active and vibrant community, and we love it. Be sure to check it out. Our Upwork Talent Events page is all about education. Education about the freelancing journey, skills on the platform, etc. It's a great place to find webinars to learn about not just freelancing, but also how clients think, what's popular, things like that. And if you have questions about any of the how-to or technical things I mentioned, like the top-rated program, job success scores, profiles, or anything else that I mentioned today in this webinar, you can go to the Upwork Help Center and search for it and get the answers that you need. Thank you all for attending and joining us in our pre-recorded version of the webinar. We do run these webinars live every week, and we hope to see you there.